Bryan Kohberger, the defense, they're trying to suppress DNA, search warrants, and various things inside the case.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so pathetic. When I watched this, I don't even know what to call it. I think maybe it's a performance by this defense attorney. And I say to myself, she can't be this ignorant. Yeah, right? I mean, this has got to be a ploy. She's trying to pull proverbial rabbit out of the hat here, on proven science. She's making all kinds of crazy allegations, and they're looking for a Franks hearing, which would then be an allegation of misconduct on the part of the prosecutors. And then the remedy for that would to take the death penalty off the table. What was it? Shallow Vallow?
Yeah, Shallow Vallow and Daybell. Yeah, same type of situation, same courthouse.
Yeah, so she just took a pile of shit and she's throwing it up against the wall and she's trying to see what sticks. And the judge is having none of this.
Listen, in all fairness to all good defense attorneys out there, Bryan Kohberger stands accused. He's innocent until proven guilty, but he stands accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho college students. So he is looking at death by either lethal injection or the firing squad.
His attorney is trying to paint the murder investigation as flawed and shrouded in secrecy, all in an effort to get key evidence thrown out.
You're being led down this path to say there's a real investigation when there wasn't a real investigation.
Prosecutors say surveillance footage, cell phone records, and DNA evidence link Kohberger to the murders. The linchpin, Kohberger's DNA.
We're not just talking about his DNA happened to be found in, a dresser drawer or something. It was found on a knife sheath where 4 people were killed by a knife. This is as crime scene as it gets.
But Kohberger's attorney's arguing to have that crucial DNA evidence dismissed, claiming it was unlawfully obtained using public genealogy websites. Kohberger's attorneys also arguing that authorities violated the law when they used a garbage collector to retrieve trash from the Kohberger family's gated neighborhood in Pennsylvania without a warrant, the FBI using the garbage to make the DNA match.
I think it is different when you have the FBI telling the trash man what to do.
Oftentimes, a sample of DNA that has been discarded is what the courts call an abandonment sample, that you don't have an expectation of privacy for a pizza crust you throw out or a water bottle that you drink from and throw out.
The individuals who are utilizing these databases, and we're talking about millions of them, are willingly sharing their information with each other. The issue is that no one sharing this information with millions of other people could have a reasonable expectation of privacy.
Based on the judge's responses to the defense's arguments, it's unlikely that this evidence does get suppressed, meaning not shown to the jury at trial. If it is suppressed, then prosecutors would have to lean on other forms of evidence.
The defense also questioning the credibility of a surviving roommate. In an affidavit, the roommate recalled being in the home and frozen, seeing a man wearing black clothes and a mask walk past her.
This is one of 2 roommates who survived, and this is the roommate who gave police a lot of information. She described the killer who she saw, the man who was in the house, as being a tall white male with bushy eyebrows, and that fits the description of Bryan Kohberger. So the defense is now trying to pull apart her credibility.
This witness has claimed that she's not sure what she heard or saw was real or whether it was at a dream. There's further statements from that witness in that police interview that said that she had too much to drink and couldn't remember.
The surviving roommate gave statements to law enforcement that the defense is trying to argue was not necessarily accurate. They may have been intoxicated or sleepy or may have seen things that might not have fit exactly perfectly for what law enforcement then articulated to the judge.
I can't find any case law that would support that idea, that somehow a warrant would be needed for DNA left at a crime scene.
The defense challenging how investigators zeroed in on Kohberger, using the DNA left on a leather knife sheath found next to one of the...
Ed, let's also point out the DNA that they're talking about. Now, this isn't the knife sheath, but this is a replica, right? This is a K-bar. Where the blue pointer is, this is the snap. This is the button.
That's where it was found.
It's not found here. The weapon, as we know, was never recovered. So this is the knife inside this knife, but it's right here. This is a metal button. Ed, you could talk about this, where the DNA was recovered from there, right, Ed?
That's the DNA that was recovered from there. They swabbed it and got the DNA from it. And during this argument, too, they want the Amazon purchases suppressed because they didn't have a warrant. Well, Amazon doesn't require one. You know, many people don't read the agreements for apps on your phone. You don't read all the way through. There's just too many words. Many people don't. And you don't read the agreements when you join Amazon Prime, because if you would have read the agreement, you realize you gave them many of your privacy rights for them to do with your information what they want to. They sell your information because, you purchased this, so they send you advertising for that, and so forth and so on. And when you throw, so in this case, they want that suppressed because it appears they may have a purchase of a K-bar knife from his online activity and so forth.
Which would be devastating to the defense. It also would pertain to his online social media presence. And remember, early on in this case, we heard, and we didn't know if it was confirmed, but we heard that he allegedly sent direct messages via, I think, Instagram to one or more of the victims. So this would also be in Ann Taylor's toolbox to go and try to suppress his purchase history and to get his social media history thrown out, which I don't think...
She's trying to get that all suppressed. She's trying to get the cell phone tower data suppressed. She's trying to get the FBI's vehicle expert who, came up with what type of car it was. She wants all of that suppressed.
Right.
She's saying all kinds of crazy shit about where you need a warrant and when you don't need a warrant. None of it is true.
Using the DNA left on a leather knife sheath found next to one of the victims and running it through public ancestry websites to build a list of suspects.
Runner, there was no warrant for several phases of the search.
But the judge appearing unpersuaded that the use of that investigative technique itself violated Kohberger's rights.
When there's a DNA match between the DNA and the sheath in Mr. Kohberger, isn't that probable cause every day and twice on Sunday?
Such
That was another... I got to put you on, Ed, because you put your head down and you actually were like, what in the actual F?
If there was like a bobblehead of the defense attorney on the judge's bench, you know what he's doing? He's just smacking the head right now, watching it go.
And he's just like this, he's leaning to his right, and he is just like, what in the F am I hearing here?